never thought I'd say this, but Jai Courtney was actually pretty good in this movie. Suicide Squad, written and directed by David Ayer, stars Margot Robbie the Robot, Jared the Joker Leto, Will Smith and Wesson, Cara Delevingne, Cara Merovingian, Jai Courtney Cox, Joel Kinnaman, Karen Fukuhara Show, Viola Davis. Ben Affleck shows up for a minute, and it's got Adewale Akinnuoye-Agbaje, and it's got Akinnuoye-Agbaje, and J. Hernandez as El Diablo. I did that for comedy. And Scott Eastwood, son of grumpy old man and amazing director Clint Eastwood. Scott Eastwood is pretty much an Easter egg in this movie, so keep your eyes peeled. So let's get into it. These are all the bad guys in the DC Extended Universe, and they get assembled by Viola Davis, who plays Amanda Waller, and she's a baller. And they're all sent on a mission because they all have special abilities and they can handle stuff that normal people can't handle. And at the same time, they're expendable. So it's like the Expendables. It's the Expendables with superheroes. Alright, the first act of this movie is abysmal. I almost walked out. I literally almost walked out because I had a bad experience with a security guard right before the movie, and I was really angry. So I was very angry, and I was like, screw this movie. I don't care. I don't want to watch this movie anymore. This part is really dumb. They're just explaining everything to me, and I know this movie's gonna suck. Then what happened is Will Smith happened, and Will Smith is great as Deadshot, and he's cool, and he's funny, and he's a badass. I got mixed feelings about Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn because, I get it, Harley Quinn is slightly annoying, that's part of her character, and Margot Robbie pretty much nails that. She looks the part, and she plays the part well. I don't know if I don't like her portrayal of the character, or if I just don't like the character itself, because it's kind of annoying, but that's just me. I get why people like the character, I just feel like half of her jokes stuck the landing, and the other half took like a big step. Like that. So they weren't all that perfect. Will Smith, though, pretty funny. I go on and on about Jai Courtney and his ginormous head, but he's really good in this movie. He plays Captain Boomerang, and his specialty is boomerangs and Australian accents, and he's really good at both of those. One comes naturally, I guess. You decide. But he goes around, and he just doesn't care about anything. He's punching people in the face all the time, throwing boomerangs, and drinking beers. And he just seems like a good time and a fun guy to be around because he likes to party. He's a fun Jai. I have mixed feelings about Enchantress. I think overall, though, I thought she was pretty cool. She was kind of spooky, very unsettling, creepy type of character. And there was one really cool moment in the movie where she summons Enchantress, and you just see like fingers go like that, and she just turns into Enchantress, and that was probably one of my favorite parts of this movie. It's just a little subtle thing, but I thought it was a very creative move. I thought that was cool. It shows duality, shows her metamorphosis, shows that she has two sides of the same coin. Slut. Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. She is more and more badass throughout the movie, and I see why the Suicide Squad does not want to mess with her. Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. He was fine. Notice how long it took me to get to the Joker, because the Joker, for me, in this movie is an afterthought. He's a very side character, and they don't really spend much time on him. And Jared Leto, though his performance was interesting, I feel like he was in a different movie. His portrayal of the Joker just did not seem to fit into this universe for some reason or another. Maybe a different type of movie. He was really going for it, and it kind of misses for me, although I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't hate it. I just think it would be a really cool performance, maybe in a different movie entirely. Interestingly enough, he kind of reminded me of Gary Oldman's character in True Romance. Check out that movie. Gary Oldman is amazing. If Jared Leto's Joker was in a movie like that, maybe it'd work out. One thing I liked is that they made Batman kind of the villain of this movie. He's this dark, scary guy that they're all afraid of, and Ben Affleck does a pretty good job, though you can tell he did about 1 or 2 days of shooting. There was a lot of talk about how they went back and reshot a lot of this movie to add more comedy to it, so I think as a result, this movie is pretty much a tonal mess, where you've got these dark moments, you've got creepy moments, and then you've got these weird moments of levity that almost don't fit in the context of these scenes. Yet some of them work, a lot of them don't. But when they work, they really work. So as we get into the second act of this movie, for me, it got a lot better. The first act, all exposition. The second act, we start to get into the meat and potatoes of things, and it starts to pick up, and I get why they had to do the first act the way that they did. And by the third act of the movie, I was on board, and I was actually starting to get emotionally invested into the characters, especially El Diablo. El Diablo kind of brought a heart to the team. He might not be the greatest actor, but his character and his portrayal of the character, it worked fine. I thought his particular backstory was quite moving and actually works to anchor the team. And though I was digging the third act of the movie and I was on board and I was like getting all pumped up, I'd say the final act of the movie is a little bit of a cop-out as far as action goes. You've seen it all before. You've seen this ending before. So in the end, though Suicide Squad is tonally a mess, there's plenty of fun to be had. It gets better throughout the movie. It does have a bit of heart. I happen to be a fan of the Expendables movies, and this kind of falls in that lane. A bunch of bad guys, a bunch of mercenaries, they get together. They're not quite good, and you kind of like that about them because they're kind of badass and they don't care about the rules, and just some silly over-the-top violence. Their jokes kind of fall flat, but some of them hit, and when they hit hard. And a lot of the rock and roll music cues try to bolster the coolness of each scene. They're never quite as cool as they want to be. I know you're playing Queen and you're playing Bohemian Rhapsody. I like the song, but the scene is, it's okay. The movie does swing for the fences a lot. Most of the time it strikes out. But when it lands, they hit a home run every now and then. Hey, I was even on board for Killer Croc by the end of this movie. He's a funny and ugly dude. It's not a bad movie, even though it's got a 20-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not that bad. Just stick through the beginning part of the movie because it's pretty much abysmal. But once you get through the middle section and the end, the movie does start to improve. A lot of people aren't going to like this movie, and to them I say, fine. But I'm going to go ahead and give Suicide Squad 3 fro's and a quarter. It's probably the best movie in the DC Extended Universe, though admittedly, that's not saying much. In the end, Suicide Squad, I liked it. But in the beginning of the movie, I didn't like it. I almost walked out, for real. Well, that's my review. How about you? Are you gonna go check out Suicide Squad? Did you watch it already? Let me know in the comments below what you thought. And always remember to like and share these videos, and subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here. And hey, you. Yeah, you. There's ways that you can help the environment right now. It's so simple, even a kindergartner can do it. And if you want to find out more information on that, just click the icon on my face at the end of this video, check that info card, or look for a link in the description below. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle, your bro in the know, with the fro, yo. And I'll see you later. I love fro, yo. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. Ketchup is delicious. Wonder Woman is coming out June 2nd, 2017. It's directed by Patty Jenkins and stars Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and also Chris Pine. Not as Wonder Woman, though. Oh, rooflets. Ow, I hurt myself.